Hello and welcome to Fan Rants, new and improved. Because the last time I did this, it was all about fan films and sort of themes I noticed that I didn't like in fan films, so I decided to put a video on. And I got a lot of people having a go because they couldn't handle criticism. They didn't like the fact that someone said that their work was a bit rubbish, that they were in fact copying David Tennant. Apparently, criticism doesn't apply to them. However, I purposely asked people, name your suggestions of any video that falls into that category, and everyone else send in your suggestions. However, you're all quick to jump to the people like Tony Coburn, Thomas Rhys Kay, Jamie Carroll, and even Jamie didn't mind the video. But everyone else seemed to, because apparently, although they're quick to go and suggest other people, they're in no position to take criticism themselves. And if you haven't realised that YouTube is actually called broadcast yourself, that's their tagline, which actually you broadcast yourself in general, that could even apply to opinions, and also the fact that you have a comment box. If you don't understand what the comment box is for, it's basically people can write below and comment their opinions and criticism of your video. And if you disable it, you quite clearly just can't handle criticism. Criticism is a key part of YouTube, and without it, it wouldn't exist. How are you meant to know how to improve unless someone doesn't criticize? But anyway, it doesn't matter, because if you can't accept criticism, you don't belong on YouTube. That's my last word on the matter. So what can I possibly rant about? It's called Fan Rants, but I can't rant about fan films. Or maybe I could probably twist it and say, I'm a fan ranting, because I am a bit of an anti-fan, as loads of people have noticed. So I can always offer my perspective, which is what I've been doing ever since I've joined Whotubia. For example, the Fez. I hate it. I don't think it's cool. I think it's a pointless headwear, and realistically, only Tommy Cooper suited it because he was a comedian who wanted to laugh. But everyone else, that's not funny. They're just stupid hats. Matt Smith may want to bring it back in the new series, but personally, I will hate him if he does. So where does my perspective come in? Basically, I'm going to present a whole different style, an opinion of every form of Doctor Who media there is going. For example, the TV, classic, and the new. And I suppose that should bring me to the breaking news that the BBC issued 14 episodes for Series 7. But they've split it. They've split it over 2 years. Okay, a bit controversial, really, isn't it? Given the fact that last year they went and announced Series 6 is going to be split into 2 halves. One in the first part of the year and the other in the second part, which I think works well. But Series 7? We're going to have to wait a whole year. And everyone's quick now saying things like, oh my god, Doctor Who's dying. The show's rubbish, it's going to pot. What's going on? It's madness. And then later on, to make things more interesting, a spokesperson for the BBC went and announced that apparently Stephen Moffat is busy with Sherlock. He's also a married man with kids. He's got to dedicate his time, or else he'll never even sort of cope as an individual, regardless of the fact he's writing for Doctor Who or Sherlock. So a lot of fans sort of speculated, what? He's betrayed the Who fans now by putting all his workload into Sherlock. Which, by the way, I think is probably a good move, because given that Sherlock last year was so much better than Series 5 altogether. And Stephen Moffat said on Twitter that's got nothing to do with Sherlock. And then on Doctor Who magazine fairly recently, he says that the reason why we're being vague is because it's a secret. We're not idiots. It's a surprise. I thought that was pretty obvious. Maybe Moffat's got a plan, or maybe they're splitting the episodes out as the specials were in 2009. Who knows? Or maybe even because Stephen Moffat's very complex story arcs, which makes me feel glad that we've got a break during the Series 6, maybe he's thinking maybe 7 episodes is enough for a story arc. Who knows? Because quite frankly, I'd be quite confused if we continue this going all the 13 weeks now. It'll be one story after another, after another, after another, and eventually I'd probably explode. But what you've got to realise is, there are positives. For example, when I said earlier, it's been split over 2 years. That's 2 years. That's another 2 years. Not another year, and then we're left in the dark again. Another 2 years guaranteed, taking up to 2013, which actually happens to be the 50th anniversary. So, everyone here is jumping quickly to say, oh my god, the show's dying, the show is dying. It's going to be cancelled, it's going to be axed again. Moffat, you've ruined this. Of course he hasn't. It's been renewed for 2 years. That means that it's the BBC's prime sort of show. It's historical. They would not just give 2 series and then go say, let's go and get rid of the show, shall we? Because I've got Sherlock to produce. So many people are quick to go and say that Moffat has ruined Doctor Who. I disagree. But when you go and say ruined, what you actually mean is changed. Because that's the definition that you're using. You're saying it's changed so much, it's no longer Doctor Who. But tell me this. The programme has a blue box as the TARDIS. They went to go and get rid of it in the 80s, but it's still here. You've got the Doctor, who also reflects on his previous regeneration, so it's still canon. And then you've got the companion, you've got monsters, Daleks appear, Sidemen are okay, they may have flares, and they've only just got Riddler's C on their chest. And then you also got scary moments, adventure, that's Doctor Who, isn't it? What isn't Doctor Who about that? Maybe because the stories are a bit more thought out. Okay, exceptions are the Rebel Flesh and Almost People, and the Curse of the Black Spot, almost disappointingly. But regardless, there's a story arc to it. They've now written for the new audience, which are children like this.
Thank you very much for joining me. Got a few questions for you. What is your favourite Doctor, and why?
I like Matt Smith because he's funny and he eats fish fingers in custard.
Would you ever eat fish fingers and custard?
No.
Thank God. Now, which is your favourite series out of Matt Smith? Is it series 5 or 6?
Series 6.
Why?
Because it's got all gangers in it and Ood. And you find out who River is.
You like the Ganger episode?
Yeah.
A lot of people have said it wasn't a very good episode, but what would you say?
It is a very good episode.
Why is it a good episode?
Because they're copies of people trying to kill other people.
Okay. Basically, the next series of Doctor Who, every series is usually 13 episodes, right? But the next year, they've split the series into 2 parts. They're having 7 episodes next year and 7 the year after. What do you think of that?
I think that sounds weird.
Why do you think it sounds weird?
Because then they've got 6 less episodes. Yeah.
That's very true. Okay, now, last question. A lot of people say that Doctor Who has been ruined since Matt Smith came in. They think it's too complicated, it's not Doctor Who, and it's got nothing that makes it good anymore. They don't like it. What do you have to say about that?
I think they're wrong because it is good. That Doctor is the best one.
I think it's the best one. Do you find it a bit confusing?
Yes.
Ish.
Yes.
But would you still continue watching it, even if it confused the hell out of you?
Yes.
What would make you stop watching it?
If I stopped watching it if it, I don't know.
You don't know why? You don't think you'd stop watching it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Adam. Thank you very much.
See, 9 years old, he'll jump off a slide shouting Geronimo and mention bow ties are cool in random sentences. But my final point is this. If you're worried about the Series 7 split over the next 2 years, don't be, because it basically confirms that Doctor Who is going to last for another 2 years, and definitely making the 50th anniversary. I trust Moffat's judgment, and even if you don't, well, don't watch it then, if you don't like it. But the thing is, it's not going to change a difference even if you do say your opinions or moan about it, because, let's face it, the BBC will continue making it under Moffat's regime. It doesn't matter what you think. You're still going to be watching it, even if you dislike it or not, and everyone else will still watch it, either way. So generally, just stop going on about Doctor Who being ruined, as you say, and just watch the damn thing. Come on, you're moaning more than I do. If you are offended by any of the issues written in this, you must realise my word is not law. Any complaints you have, please send it to the black hole at the centre of my heart.